right, so this is free, right? Anybody on the entire map that sees you do this, anybody to your north, behind you, if somebody sees you do this, I'm keying that 100%. If I need to refresh, there's 42 players. One of these players near you is less than 500 mats, and they need to refresh. This is all day right here. Brad, are you here? General chat, Brad. Let's go. So you're below Storm Surge, okay? First thing, you're below Storm Surge. Obviously, there's not a lot of details to the rest of this game, but you're about to get ticked in 38 seconds, right? You have a little bit of time since you need 24 damage, but I would start setting up for a fight in the next 5 seconds. Like, you need to be going in the next 5 seconds to this guy in front of you, to somebody to your left, somewhere. You gotta get on the move right now. Goes away, okay. Bailed out, lucky, right? Well, understand now, that's just because it went away doesn't mean it's gonna get any easier for you. The Storm Surge threshold is only gonna be higher. More people are going to rotate. More people are going to get shot on the rotate. You're going to get shot on the rotate. That means that somebody's going to get Storm Surge off of you, which means if you don't get any damage, instead of being 33 below, you're going to be 150 below. So keep tagging people here. This is good. You're playing dead side. Understand why you're doing what you're doing, right? That's a big part of playing the game, and I hope that I can explain this to you. Maybe you already know this, but this is great. You're playing dead side. You're going to go into reckless, hopefully, and you're going to be able to get all your mats back, and maybe even sit in the building, you know, chill out, hang out, whatever. Like there's no need to go anywhere but south here. Also, anytime you use hand, I know hands are not in the game right now. Anytime that you use hands, always pop a fizz, right? Also, understand your distance here, okay? So let's say you have to box here, right? Let's just imagine this is a must box situation. You had to stop here, whatever it is, doesn't matter, okay? You have no charges right now, okay? Can a fizz plus 1 charge get you to south? No. Look where you are in the mini map. Can it get you to zone? No. So that means you need to sit here for at least 2 charges if you can, or get close to, like, you know, you can hand, and then while you're in the sky, you can get another one and go again. So that's 2 things. Pop a fizz on every time you hand, you pop a fizz. You'll go way further. You can control your character way more, because when you're fizzing, you can pick your spot as you fall way easier. And then always make sure you have multiple charges, not just one, because you're gonna see here, right? Like, no fizz, you don't go very far. And just like I talked about before, we're gonna kind of compound on what we've mentioned before, is like your skin, the way people watch you build. All those things are reasons why you guys are getting keyed and killed in these opens. I promise you, if you guys can just be the big, like, show that you can be the big bad wolf, there you go. I think we can use me as a great example. I'd love to use myself here. Okay, me in a lobby, we're with Peterbot and the Vino and these great players. I'm not anywhere near the level to fight them. I can't just go key them and jump in their box and kill them every time, right? It's going to be a 50-50 or maybe an 20% chance that I win it, just because they're so good, right? And that's just simply an odds thing that I'm not going to do that every time. That just doesn't make sense, right? So, but what does make sense is I can show that I'm not that, right? They don't know who I am entirely, right? Like, they can, certain parts of the game, if it's early game and they key me, they're going to know where I land, right? But like in the late game, they don't know it's me. I could be, Peterbot could think he's keying Vino because of the way I build, the way, you know, the speed that I build, the quickness, you know, my shots, I'm getting a shot back off, I'm getting counter damage, right? So all those things are like ways that maybe deters Peterbot, one of the best W keyers in the game, to stop keying me, right? But if he keys you and you're building slowly and you're reacting slowly and you're rotating kind of messy and you're moving messy and you're not sliding around or whatever, right? There's so many indicators that can get you keyed and killed. So think about that the next time you guys rotate through your game and play your game. Like, simulate a pro, whether that means you're constantly looking around, you're switching through your pickaxe, you have a good skin on, good pickaxe on, you know, you're crouch spamming when you farm, right? Like, watch what a pro does. Go watch what Peterbot does, how he moves, and go simulate that when you play. It's not hard, and if it is hard, then it's something you need to work on. All right, so here, right, this is a sign. This guy right here, if you wanted to, free kill. Look how slow you're boxing, you know, no cone down, pickaxe the wall, right? This is all like free. Again, pop a fizz here. And you keep up dashing. It's never up dash. It's always your punch. Always punch. All right, so this is free, right? Anybody on the entire map that sees you do this, anybody to your north, behind you, if somebody sees you do this, I'm keying that 100%. If I need to refresh, there's 42 players. One of these players near you is less than 500 mats, and they need to refresh. This is all day right here. You're free game. You're like a little baby deer I'm running right through you. Not like I wouldn't do that to a baby deer. Come on now. But like, you know what I'm saying. In the wild, if I was like a fucking lion, I'm just gonna give it up. You pull zone, this is great. Right, so now you're going for a kill here. Again, same thing with the way you're spraying, right? Just, have you ever seen Peterbot, you know, go for an edit here? Have you ever seen Peterbot shoot his cone? Shoot his cone twice, edit his cone, peak like, have you ever seen a pro peak like this? Never. Never. Right, I know for a fact, Brad, that you've watched pros before. I know you have. You've watched, I'm pretty sure you've been in my streams. You've watched pros play. You know that this is not a peak that pros make. So like anybody that sees you, look at those guys looking at you. And this is just an example of why pros don't make this peak, because your entire body is visible from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably 15 players at least. Okay, so what a pro peak like this? No, so then you shouldn't do it. Same thing with your quickness, your reactiveness to like this guy fighting for it, like your build speed. Again, like this is all signs of like, all right, but I'll let this guy get this loot and then I'll just go kill him after, because yeah, I know I'll be able to take him out. As for positioning, where you are is fine. You're in full belt metal. You're the most safe you could be. No one's gonna ram through your walls. You want to be in metal here, and you've already burnt the mats. So sending yourself back to your last box just gives another opportunity for everyone that's boxed up, just like the guy you're seeing here behind you, all around you. They see a player moving 30 seconds late. Imagine, okay, the recording can't see this, but imagine there's a player rotating, okay, like this, right? You're going in like this, okay? Imagine there's someone coming in late right here. Everyone that's on these little markers is gonna shoot. I could just use Epic Pin here. Everyone that's gonna shoot these guys, right? Like, don't rotate late, right? So this is basically what you're doing. You're rotating late, even though you're in zone. And you're up dashing still. And your reset is slow. So again, free kill. If I wanted this kill, I'm taking it. Every day. Zone goes here. What you're gonna need to do is, you're doing the right thing. You scout through your cone. Okay, ask yourself a question. With zone moving, and players already gonna be in zone here in about 5 seconds, their zone's opened up already, so people can be boxed up looking back, okay? You are that player now because you're shooting, rotating late. So ask yourself this question whenever you do something like this. Is this kill gonna get me the chance to win the game? Am I gonna get the kill from this? That might be the first question you should ask. Am I even gonna kill this guy? The next question is, am I even gonna get the mats? Let's say I kill this guy in 1 second. Am I gonna get the mats without getting griefed, without having to burn more than I gained? All those are no. No. You're not going to kill the guy. You're not going to get his mats. And what was the first one? You're fucking, I don't even know. You're not like, just no. Just no. I forget. Just no. Don't do this. Instead, pop your fizz and hands to zone. You have 4 charges on your hands. All right, so now you're delayed. Now you're reloading. Someone's about to be in your back. You go. You're up dashing every time. Just use, you're seeing how effective this is? Imagine if you didn't waste your up dash. You'd be all the way back here in this bush, which is going to be in zone in a second here. It's going to expand and you can sit and not have to waste any builds. Look how that one little thing, just you up dashing one time made it so that way you couldn't get to that bush, and now you have to waste 100 builds. Now you have no brick, and now you're getting sprayed, right? Just that one thing. Just if you just didn't up dash right there, everything else would have been fine. You would have been in the bush. Again, same thing that I've talked about before, right? Players are recognizing how you're responding to this. If they see you struggling to build off 2 people spraying you and you're not editing your cone and not playing defensive fast enough, they need that refresh. They're taking it, right? So if you keep asking yourself, why am I getting keyed? It's not necessarily that you're putting yourself in a bad position, because you've probably seen this and you probably are agreeing with me right now that I've seen the best players in the world do exactly what you just did. They'll hand a zone. Maybe they didn't up dash, but they just used 2 charges and they landed where you landed, right? In between a lot of teams, right? It's not that. It's not a great spot to land, but that's fine. The top players can land wherever they want in zones, right? For the most part. It's the speed, right? Like, you're like, why did I die here? Because you're not building fast enough and you're getting picked off. Right? Again, you're rotating. You're just double rotating, just like you did before. You're just over rotating. You don't even know where the next one's going to go. You have no clue where it's going to go, and you're already sending it to the next zone. Again, that's another thing that could show that you're a bad player, or people could be already based up. Everyone's based up already. Zone's in 5 seconds. I know that, like, just hold the wall there, right? You're getting sprayed, just hold the wall. You have space, right? You're going. More mats wasted. And the zone pulls, and you're not even on the front side of zone here. Next thing, you're healing without editing your cones. Again, if somebody wanted to run into your walls with Nitro Splash, what's stopping them from getting straight to you as a player? Nothing. You have nothing blocking you. What's stopping somebody from just spraying these walls and making you have to stop your heals? Imagine if you have a cone edit into a stair. This guy sprays this wall here. He can't hit you, so you can keep popping your heals, and then you can just run left here into this box, and he'll stop eventually. So always chip away your cone. Great use of the hands. Love the item. Skill based. When you break this wall here, okay, imagine there's a player to your right. You even see footsteps here. There could be a player on low ground or above you looking down. When you build this wall, okay, as soon as you build the wall, you put a wall right in front of you. Like, I can't really draw, but like a wall where you're standing right now, and then a stair in your back, right? So you're super safe, so you can get out to the side here instead of just running willy-nilly. Because again, same thing, just like I've talked about before. If a player sees you doing that and they don't even hit you, I'm already in your box. Like, I'm waiting for you to get in the zone here, and I'm killing you right away. Also, in this type of meta, especially since you're already in zone, land right here, right below you, land on this metal cone, land up a layer, doesn't matter. You need to be elevated, right? You cannot be an ultimate low ground here. You're just going to get ran in every single time. You almost out of zone because it bounces back because you just kept going front for some reason. Like, this has happened 3 times where you just over rotate. Like, you're already almost in zone, or you get in the zone and then you just keep going. And I think a big part of that is marking zones. Mark the center of the zone. As soon as you get yourself to the marker, stop moving, stop. Just go to the center. Like, keep it simple. If it needs to be simple for you, keep it simple. A lot of pros will mark dead side, or they'll try to mark, like, you know, the best next rotate, right? You can do all of that and you can go super into it. But like, for you, keep it simple. Mark the center zone. Fucking monkey, go to marker. Monkey box on marker. Monkey wait for next zone. Monkey go next zone. Like, just remove all thoughts. Just be a fucking monkey. Just straight up. Just box, fist, box, land on marker, stop. Wait for zone, jump in box. Monkey jump in box, monkey get refresh, monkey win game. Just dumb it down. Dumb it down way more. So here it goes. Next zone pulls. You up dash again for no reason. You can just hand that and go straight to the same spot you're in right now. Cones down above you and below you. You don't pop the fizz. Oh my god. You don't pop the fizz and you almost die to fall damage. Wow. Yeah, just slow down, pop the fizz. Now you can get it off for sure. Uh-oh. Up dash. That's a valid up dash. Like, get off low ground. That's the one time where good. Very good. You're dead. Also, when you're doing these dashes, don't always feel like you have to go forward, especially in smaller zones. Imagine, right? Let's say like you didn't do this and you went up here. Not saying to up dash this, by the way. I'm saying you can look straight up and punch and like go up, right? And then fall down. Especially like I talked about before. If you have fizz on and you go up straight up with the fizz, try this in creative, right? Try it. If you go straight up with the fizz popped, you can literally, like, you can fully pick out your direction, right? So if we're here, let's just remove all this, okay? And we're going up and we fall down and there's a box right here, okay? We can, with a fizz on, we can literally land like here or like here, like, or you can land on this box. You can land right down here and slide down and go. You can pick so many different directions when you have fizz on because you can control your movement a lot more. So if you just went straight up here instead of going forward, it would have been good. Or if you just caught yourself, you could have easily have caught yourself too. I think maybe not. I think there's a little bit of delay, but either way, straight up would have been the play. Because I mean, imagine this, if you lived this, right? Let's say you didn't do this, or you just were healthy and you had the tank here. Okay, if you keep with the same idea of just keep going forward, when the zone gets smaller, like it's going to in the next 2 minutes, eventually, if you keep going straight forward, you're going to keep going in zone every time because the zone's so small. So you have to learn to start going upwards. And this is something I want to point out to all you guys. And if you haven't done this before, go into creative, make a custom island. It's not hard. Okay, build a box, whatever you want to do. Get your fist, get your fizz, okay? And just run around the island by yourself and just see what it does. Okay, if I'm 5 layers up, if I pop a fizz and fist once, how far does that take me? Know how to use it. How far does that take me? How do I cancel the fist? How long is the cooldown for if I go from this base to this base? How long midair can I pull up my builds here? No. Okay, what about here? No, what about here? Okay, yeah, I can pull it out here. Okay, and then I can connect and build a box. Right? So understand that, like, you have a very, very bad understanding of how to build with, or like how to use the hands and how effective they can be. You understand smashing into a box, right? That's, everyone gets that you can just run into a box and punch somebody, but you need to understand how to use the entirety of the hand. All right, thank you for that one. Next, Destin. So it starts in mid game. Where do you want me to start here? Oh, this is okay. That's fine. Let's go. Very nice. Very nice. Key this guy. 37 points. Decently stacked. You have great mats, great loadout. Everything is win condition right here. Now you're playing dead side. Love to see it. This is perfect. Keep rotating around. And kind of be quick here, right? Like, zone is unlikely to pull to you. So you have 17 seconds and you need to start like getting yourself ready to go north here. Or like keep wrapping. Keep using those fists, right? Get yourself like in the position you want to be so you can jump on the next zone. Like, you'll see me a lot of times. Like, for example, I'll go to this spot here. In the Solo Cash Cup Finals. Let's see, is this game here? In the Cash Cup Finals, right? I sat in this bush. Okay. Zone goes. Okay. As soon as it goes, I'm ready to go for the next bush. Right, so it goes. I'm already in this bush already, right here. Right, next zone pulls. I'm waiting. I'm in the great spot, and I'm waiting for next zone. I get a good pull, so I stay. Right, so same thing here. You know the zone's gonna go. It's gonna pull in 16 seconds. You don't know where, but it's unlikely to pull to you. So start going north here. Right, like this is all like you thinking about looting here. Like, what are you gonna loot? You know, maybe farm your mats if anything. Farm this car. Even though it's 33 players alive, right? Get yourself in the best position possible. That's 33 players means that you're not gonna have people around you, right? So you don't need to like force to a spot quick, because not everyone's forcing to a spot, right? These 33 players are probably all on the outside of the zone as well. But this just means that like instead of getting where you end up going, which we're gonna skip here and see where you end up going, right? You end up going to Brawler's Battleground. Instead of going here and sitting on the builds and wasting mats, you could have picked a bush right here or wherever, right? Like you could have picked like the best spot, because it's such a dead game. That spot's going to be open 99% of the time. You know what I'm saying? So like be more proactive on the zone. Like that bush right there, you could have been there first easily. It probably still is empty right now, and you wouldn't have to waste any mats, and you could have sat in the bush easy. I know you're controller, but still doesn't matter. Like no aim assist is still good to have. Still good to be in a bush, not burning any mats. All right, so here you're ready to go. As soon as it goes, go right away. Go. It's such a dead game that there's no thinking about going or like thinking about the rotate. Just go. You'll see the rotate as you go. You know what I'm saying? If it's like 55, 60 players alive right now, then maybe you should look through your cone and be like, okay, there's a guy here. Let me go in between. Let me do this exact, fizz here, splash here, run this, blah, 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 right? Hand that. All right, so just go. Again, sitting on edge is great. It's not the worst thing to do, but might as well go center if you can. This is good. You're just fizzing and you're handing. It's perfect. You're almost in zone here. So just from like the simple times of you not sitting in bushes kind of twice, like the first time I told you to sit in the bush and that last zone that you were in, where I'm not saying there was a bush available, but I'm sure you could have found something to sit in or a bush. Also, I'm not saying you have to sit in a bush, but think about refarm, right? Like think about if you were able to find 2 bushes in those last 2 zones, you would have 5-5-5. You'd be chilling in this zone, right? You'd be 5-5-5. That's perfect. That's what you want to do every time. But now you're 4-1-5 or 4-1-4. Same thing here, right? Would you rather be like, in the zone next to everybody, or could you be in this guy's position here on the back of zone? This guy's going to go deep in there. He's going to farm all that floor in there, get the walls, whatever he wants, the loot, whatever. It doesn't matter. He get whatever he wants. He can go up. I mean, there's so much you could do here with this zone, right? So try to go dead side if you can here. And then same thing here, right? Like, I don't know if this is a decision that you made because you had low brick. I would assume so, because it never makes sense. Even if you have low brick, never makes sense to build out a metal this early. Never. Especially since you could be farming brick right here in this building, right? But you don't farm any of it. So you're like allergic to getting mats back, it looks like. Next one, pulls, pop a fizz and hammer this, or fist this, sorry. Fizz, fist. Even though you have 10 fizz left, this is fine. This is good. This is exactly what you want to do. Bread, if you're watching this still, this is the way to fist rotate. You just fist, look up a little bit, not straight up, but at a right angle. Again, situational. If you want to go straight up, you can. But he's just trying to find a place to land. And look at the fizz. The fizz gave him so much option to land. He can like pull so far while it's going. Again, same thing here, right? You want to build out a brick if you can, because you're not getting any of this back. And I know you probably won't get your brick back either, but like think about the benefit of this, right? You're burning all your metal. Now you're about to be no mats going in endgame. Some players right now are still 4-4-4 because they just were smart with their mats. They were able to get refarm. They sat in bushes. They played, you know, maybe they used wood sometimes when they weren't like in a sketchy area. Still, same thing, right? Fizz, fist. You'll go way further. Every fist will take you way further. Again, same thing. Use brick here, right? Like I know it's getting into moving zones here, but this is a time where the zone is so big, you most definitely could use brick again. Get that med kit off. Still, you could be refarming right now. You know you need mats. You either need a kill or you need mats. So you need to start refarming. Pop that fizz again, right? You get to keep it going. Now you're in box elevated here. Like catch yourself right there, right? Again, it's just like the last VOD we watched. You want to catch yourself right on this brick or this metal or somewhere elevated, because again, you're already center zone. So get to marker, monkey gets to middle marker, monkey boxes up, monkey pops fizz, monkey hands. Like literally just simplify it just straight up. Now you're doing too much, right? And you're really weak on whites. And now you have no charges for this next zone. Also, when you're falling, the easiest time to fry somebody is when they're falling. You guys would all agree. If you see somebody falling, you just look right below them and just shoot the entire time while they're falling in the straight line. Like, look, you're just falling straight down. Right? So now you have no charges or minimal charges, maybe one. And the zone pulled because you just kept going. Just like the last VOD we watched, you just kept on rotating. And this is why the game, by the way, this is why the game can feel so chaotic, is when you don't have anything planned. You don't know you don't have any, like even the smallest type of decision game plan, right? You don't have the smallest game plan. It could literally be your game plan is to just use brick until your brick runs out and then metal. Like that, just something. Like your game plan, the only thing I can see that you know as a game plan is to fist. And that's great. That's perfect. But that's add on to it, right? You want to have a really in-depth game plan of like, okay, positioning, mat usage, refarm, when to get a refresh, you know, all that. All right, so that was the game. You just overused your fist a couple times when you could have just boxed in the middle there, and then you just kind of were allergic to refarming mats, allergic to sitting in a bush, allergic to like just being as stacked as possible. Like here, when you got in zone here, you could have refarmed this building, but you just didn't. And those things set you back. Like imagine you were in this position here and you didn't use any mats. You'd probably be like, if you box like right here, right? On this, let's see, it's right here. If you box somewhere around here, you'd probably be 360, 3-3. That's a lot more than 360, 1-1, right? So that's the game. That is that game.